Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 229. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented Amy Lyndon. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Oh, well, I'm excited to have a lengthy conversation with you and have fun.
Now, for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to them you can still amount to something. With that being said, half hour, 45 minutes every time. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I guess I would consider myself a Renaissance woman. I pretty much do everything. I run a company where I teach about 200 actors a week. And I'm also an award-winning filmmaker. And I also run a house and have employees. And I'm also an actress with about, 100 IMDB credits. I direct, I write, I produce. And just a couple weeks ago, I played disc golf, which was really fun. And last week I was bowling. I'm busy doing Pilates. So, I don't know, everybody's got 24 hours in a day, and I tried to make the most of mine, and I kind of wish I had more than 24.
I hear you. Now I'm going to ask you the easy questions starting off, then I'm going to go to the hard-hitting ones. But actually, you bring up some good subjects, so we're going to make this one a little different. Now, you said you have your own school, right? Now, for perfect example, what do you teach, number one? And how would someone like me, would I be a possibility to go to your school, or how's that? What would the process steps be?
Well, I teach a booking technique that I created, and it's pretty much in 4 different countries. And I get emails from all over the world from this technique that I created. It's a 15 guideline map to booking technique. So I teach people how to book. And if they take the talent that they have and the training, the previous training that they have, they come to me and I give them basically a template so then they could plug in all their emotional work into this template and book jobs. I currently have 40 network series regulars, an Emmy winner, and an Imagen Award winner, just from this technique. And the kind of people that I usually see are people that are ready to work in the industry and learn how to basically close the deal. So that's what I teach them. I also help them put together their marketing packages. I do career consultations, and then I help them find an agent and a manager.
Oh, that would be perfect for me. I would love that.
Yeah, but it takes a long time to put together your marketing package. You need a demo reel showing your acting, and then you need photos that match you, which matches your resume, which matches your demo reel, and then I could find you somebody that's worthy of you.
Right. Well, for a perfect example, how would my talk show fall under the category?
Well, the talk show is not acting, it's hosting. So I couldn't help you there because I don't know any hosting agents. And so you would need to go out and find a hosting agent. Because that's more commercial. I deal with more film and television acting roles. Right now, you're playing yourself. You are your own personality.
Right. Yeah, that's an idea.
Fabulous, darling. You're fabulous.
I appreciate it. Now, you mentioned you also have people working for you, like in a house, you mentioned?
Yeah, well, I work in the theater 2 nights a week. My students, they come in and they have to, they pick up their scene when they get there. They don't rehearse with their partner, and their goal is to book it on the first take. And they stay up there until either they get the lesson or they book it on the first take. And they use the technique, so it's a technique class. And it's a professional class. It's not like everybody sits around clapping for each other. We actually snap now. So if somebody's doing really great after, we all go like this. Because it's not like a performance, you know? Everybody's into this work, and we're a work in progress to get you ready to compete at a high level. But oftentimes people come in and hit it on that first take, and it's like snap, crackle, pop, and it's really amazing. And everybody responds. But you're not there for anybody but yourself. And I have my people, they can leave when they're done, but most people like to stay and watch. I also have former students who can watch for free anytime, but I allow no audits at all. You have to go through a qualification process to even get into that class to watch, or to be a part of it. But the goal for all those people is to learn how to book on the first take using the technique.
All right, well, going into more detail, how would someone would be interested in taking classes and being a part of it? What would the process be?
Well, first thing they have to do is call the office and speak to my office manager, Tracy, and she asks a whole bunch of questions, qualifying questions, and I would say about 80% of the people that call need to take the Saturday workshop, which I hold once a month, where I teach the technique from the beginning. Believe it or not, a quarter of my series regulars have no other training other than this technique. I don't like to call it an acting technique, but it actually is. I call it a booking technique, but a lot of people call it an acting technique. And so I could take anybody from wherever they are to go to wherever they want to be. And so they would call the office, and Tracy would check the qualifications based on your training and your booking, maybe if you have representation, or if you're currently really proactive with your career. It's all indicators of whether or not you're ready for the advanced class. But so they go through the workshop, and then we tell them, listen, you should go on Vimeo on demand and watch the lecture as well. I mean, there's a whole program. But a lot of people and you're ambitious, but there's a lot of people that say they're going to do something and they don't do it.
Right.
But we lead them to water. Whether or not they drink or not is up to them. But we tell them exactly what it is that they need to do to get it done.
Now, have you ever had any people in a class become big name stars?
Major, yeah. Adam Brody from the OC, Rainey Rodriguez. I can go down the line. Olivia Stuck, who's on Kirby Buckets right now. Chris D'Elia, who's on Undateable. I don't know if they picked it up. I can go down the line. I have 40 some odd series regulars. And Carlos Prats, who just won the Imogen Award playing opposite Kevin Costner in McFarland, USA. So Nadine Velasquez trained with me. She was in My Name is Earl and Flight and Snitch, and I could go on about her. She's amazing. And then, I have Gabrielle Elise, she's on Ricky, Nikki, Dickie, and whatever. One of those, like, four name shows on, I think it's Disney. And Paris Belk is an interesting story. She was in the Mighty Med, and now she's in the next version of Mighty Med. But she had no training at all. I coached her all the way up to network level to book that job. And then Crystal Khalil, who won an Emmy for The Young and the Restless. She didn't have that many credits when she booked that, and I think she's been on the show for 9 years already. I can go on and on. So the technique works if you work it, but it just depends on the person.
All right, well, let's use me for a perfect example.
Okay.
So if I approached you and everything you saw of me, what is your honest opinion of me?
Well, I can't assess that because I haven't seen your acting work. You're doing interview work. It's completely different. I'd have to give you a script. You'd have to study it. And then you'd come in, and then I'd say what you needed to work on in order to get to a competitive level. Because I'm all about the competition.
Yes.
The add water and stir. You guys, I teach you the process, but I'm about the result. And so I can't actually look at you and assess anything about you because I haven't seen your work.
But usually when you look at someone, do you think right away this person has something, or do you think, well, they're on the right track? Like for my talk show, for a perfect example, I know you don't work in that area, but do you think with everything I'm doing, even with my disability, do you think I should keep moving forward and I'm on the right track, or do you think I should try other options?
I think that you're on the right track because this is your passion. I think you're on the right track because you're tenacious and you love what you do, and you want to show the world and make a statement, and you have a strong platform.
No, absolutely.
You see what I mean? And so if you play on that platform, so in terms of, let's say, if you came in for a career consultation, I would look at your talk show and I would say, okay, this is what you need to do to pop it more, but what you're doing with the platform that you've created, you're already on your way. You already have a great start. Now it becomes about packaging, like you probably should have better lighting. You probably should have a backdrop. I probably shouldn't see a garbage pail back there and a fan,
Well, don't worry. Once I edit it, it's gonna look professional. Right now, it's pretty much like an open window.
Oh, I see.
Skype recorder. After a Skype recorder, it's gonna be cut in half, so all that's gonna be relevant.
Yeah, but the look is everything. So much about Hollywood and so much about what goes on out here is about perception. How you're perceived, and so that's why a lot of people you find out later on like who they really are.
Right.
Their actions, they end up in the tabloids, and you're like, oh wow, I had no idea, because our perception of them was completely different than what their behavior was.
All right.
So we all have a perception of who we are,
No, absolutely, and you mentioned in my room. I'm doing the best I can with a disability. I would love to have my own studio. Actually, I do have a question for you, but while we're on the subject, as apparently you can see everything behind me, but people who are watching this can't because it's got to be cut in half.
Right.
I promote myself. I advertise myself on Facebook to Stage 32.
That's what I said, that you're really good at that. But all you need is a backdrop.
Working on it. I was thinking about buying a green screen, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really inexpensive on Amazon. It's called Cowboy Lighting, and it's like $80-something, and you could do a whole lighting kit. It's a whole lighting kit for like $86.
That's true, but as of right now, this is just my platform.
Yeah.
I would like to find someone like you to be like, I take an interest in what you do and I want to see it grow. And I'll give you a perfect example, and that's the next question I was going to ask you. I don't know if you want to talk about it now or you want to talk about it off the air. It's up to you and leave it up to you.
What? What's that?
I do have an idea about working together. Do you want to hear it now or do you want to talk about it later?
Well, let's do it on camera, so then they could hear the idea, they could hear my answer, so they can understand where I'm coming from, where you're coming from. Okay, what's your idea?
I didn't want to play you on the spot. I apologize.
Oh, trust me, I'm never on the spot. So ask me whatever you want, I come from humble beginnings, so I'm very real, so just ask me whatever you want.
Hey, same thing here, as you can plainly see. We're in the same boat. You have to be humble to get to where you need to go.
Absolutely.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you, I'm going to pass the show over to you. This is your time, after all.
No, it's our time.
Do you have your own school itself, or do you have your own building?
Oh, okay. I rent a theater 2 nights a week, and then I teach and coach from home 2 days a week. And then and one Saturday a month, I do that beginning workshop. And then every other month, I do a business workshop. And then occasionally I'm flown out places to do seminars.
Oh, that's really cool. I can do that. I was actually thinking about going on tour, you know, just going to the different cities because, I'm working on my banner now, but, I'm wherever Skype, wherever YouTube is seen, I'm available. I am available.
Yeah, right? That's awesome. That's what's great about YouTube. You can be anywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all over New York State. I've been over New Jersey. I've been in, not physically, but my show has been in Canada, in England.
That's fantastic.
Australia. Oh, it's global. And it's like, hey, if you're able to, if you're able to watch YouTube wherever you are, it's now globalized.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like my own TV show, and I was actually thinking about, and maybe you probably know someone, or maybe you should go this route. I was actually thinking about having my show on Netflix, on Hulu, or any of the online platforms. So do you think?
Well, the way to do that is to get thousands, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube, and that's where you start. And so you need to drive everybody to YouTube. That is not my expertise at all, but I do know that people get recognition, and once you get a tremendous amount of subscribers and followers, then you can go to those people and speak to them because you have a fan base. But other than that, I don't know anything about that.
That's rounded out there.
Yeah, but that's what you need to do.
Now, last question I'm gonna pass it back to you is: what is your fan base? Number one, how did you create your fan base? Does it dictate on certain jobs that you're doing or will be receiving? And how much does it? How did you create it, and how does it dictate with everything you're doing? Because, you mentioned you did say a couple thousand, a couple million, but
I don't know
what you're doing.
Well, what I'm doing, see, that's not, I'm on all the platforms. I'm on Vine, I'm on Instagram, I have 3 pages on Facebook. I have a group page, a personal page, and then the Lyndon Technique page, a like page. I also have Twitter. And did I say Instagram? Yeah. So I'm pretty much on everything. And the only thing that I could do is make a couple, about 5-10 minutes a day because I'm busy working. I'm not the most socially educated, social media educated person, but I'm doing the best that I can.
No, I mean, perfect example, you have over 1,000 people following you. And then...
Yeah, well, I have 10,000, I would say about 15,000 combined on Facebook, and 2,500 and something on Twitter. And it's just because I keep tweeting and talking to people. And then the Vine, I'm just getting started on that, and Instagram, I'm just getting started on that as well.
No, that's the whole thing I mean by it's just the numbers. I give you a perfect example. Say you went up to another company with all those numbers you have. Does that dictate if that company's going to work with you? I give you a competition. You like competition?
I do not even have close to the numbers that you would need. I mean, what it does is it gives me online presence, which I think is really great for anybody that wants to go out to the world and speak to the world. But, the best thing to do is to get somebody that's an expert in that field, unless you have time yourself to do it, to create content. And, Periscope is great too. And now they're doing chats on online chats on Facebook. I mean, there's so many different ways to get out to the people, but that's marketing.
Right.
I'm not a marketing executive. I think that it's great to hire a marketing person or to do the research online because there's tons of things about it. But I'm just doing the best I can. I do know that, like there was a show that I auditioned for, great show. It's called Where the Bears Are, and they have 10 million followers and then so YouTube ends up starting to pay them money because of the followers, and they get to advertise on their channel. But they've been in existence for 5 years, putting out very funny content. But I haven't seen them on Hulu or Netflix. Their audience is on YouTube.
I give you a perfect example. There's this guy I came across recently. He doesn't want to do any interviews, but I think it would really help his show a lot. It's like Grimm's Toy Show, and every time he does an interview, he gets over 7 million people following him. And when I do an interview, and some are good or some are really bad or whatever, but that's not really the point.
They're all good.
They are. But the point is, it's kind of like I'm pulling my heart out here, and you have this guy jumping off roofs, he reenacts wrestling moves, he insults people, and he gets 7 million people, and I'm like, I don't understand. I'm doing a good...
I mean, it's the same reason why Punk'd and, and Johnny Knoxville and, and all those people became famous. I mean, Honey Boo Boo, she was a train wreck, I think that it becomes dangerous when you start comparing yourself to other people because their platform is completely different from yours. Your tutorial, you are giving information out to the world. It's completely different. And so you can't even compare yourself. It's apples and oranges. You're creating a career, and whoever he is, or people who do that, are just doing it for their 5 minutes of fame. It's not a broad stroke.
So it's not a good idea. It does, so you shouldn't compare yourself.
Well, it's just that it's dangerous, I mean, I spent so many years looking at other people's careers, wondering why mine wasn't where I felt it should be, Well, everybody's got their own path, Had my career blown up when I thought it was supposed to blow up in, the early 2000s, then I wouldn't be able to be there for all the people that need me now. So you got to look at the big picture. Like, what is your purpose? And so we could look at other people and feel sad that we don't have what we think they have. But I think content and educating people and inspiring them, that wins hands down as far as I'm concerned.
No, absolutely. And the same thing with my show. Like I said, I started from the phone, like I do on my interviews. I started from the phone, and I now from the cameras, from what the computer sees, and what you did. We just show you, and I'm in a stinky little box. Now I'm doing Skype recorder where it's got to cut everything off. So it looks like CNN, Fox News, and
it gets better, I mean, I've been in business 20 years, and I'm still changing things. I'm changing, I'm expanding. When I expand, it doesn't often work, and sometimes it really does. I'm reinventing my new website. I'm coming in with online courses. You got to keep moving. I think that we all get stuck, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm human, we all get stuck. But it's what you do when you are stuck, and that's what dictates the character that you have.
No, absolutely. It's about keep moving forward, and it's about moving forward.
Which is what you're doing.
It's like what Fester Salone says. It's not about how hard life hits you. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's what winners do. And don't look and blame him or her or the big elephant in the room, and because that's what cowards do.
I really couldn't agree with you more. There's so many times I'll see people that have like ridiculous opportunities, very similar to the guy that you're talking about, and they don't even notice it. And then there are other people who are just so dedicated to their work as actors and are extremely proactive and don't have the amount of opportunities as the first person, and would just die for those opportunities, you know? But we all have our own paths, and we're all learning from each other. And as long as you don't quit, then that's what it is. You quit, you lose, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, unless the last 14 minutes left, I'm going to pass it to you. And this is your time after all. Gloves off. You can promote yourself, talk about anything you want. This is your time.
Well, all I want to say is that I want to give all of Keith's listeners or viewers a free month on my business site. So if you go to tltaccess.com, you will get a free week, and then when we send you the welcome letter, we'll add 3 more weeks on there. So you could take advantage of, like, I'm like teaching, I don't know, 70 people on there. There's motivational minutes, there's assignments. It's a whole library of like 500 plus things to educate yourself. You don't need to be in Los Angeles in order to make it as an actor. Your business has to be equal to your talent, and your talent needs to be equal to your business. And so I'm here to teach you that. I was a personal manager for 9 years, and I owned a company, so trust me on that. I was negotiating 3-picture deals, and I wasn't even supposed to. And I didn't even know what I was doing. But I figured it out, you know? And then if you want to get the book, go to thelindentechnique.com. And on there, you'll also find a link to my Vimeo on-demand lecture and application. It's 3 hours worth of learning the technique. So you could get the book and then watch the video lecture, and then watch the videos on TLT Access, and it'll be like having me in your living room. I'll be there with you. And then if you live in Los Angeles, you know, call the office and we'll see what we can do. And also, if you email me, I can give you a 15% off code off of the purchase of the Vimeo on demand. But renting it is just $9.99 or $14.99 for 3 hours. So it's up to you guys. It's there for you. It's up to you whether or not you want to do it.
Now, for people who want to know what the video is, what would it cover?
I am lecturing on the technique. I'm teaching the technique from the beginning. And I'm in front of about 55 people in an audience. So it's a big deal. Lights, camera, action, the whole thing. It's fully produced, you know. Whereas it's almost like the same thing as being in my living room one Saturday a month. But it's, you know, you can't hear it enough. You want to become like a booking expert. You became an acting expert. Now you need to become a booking expert. Booking is a separate beast. It's not the same. How you book something is not going to be how you shoot it. And so I'm here to teach you how to do that.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, I'm going to ask you one hard-hitting question. When I first approached you 3 years ago...
Oh my goodness, that was 3 years ago.
Yep, you were one of my first guests I ever had 3 years ago.
Wow.
When I first approached you 3 years ago, when we first did our interview, 3 years later now doing a follow-up interview, and so this is actually part 2, is how did you feel about me then? And how do you feel now? And do you see a difference in what I'm doing? And do you think I have changed over the years? What is your honest opinion?
I feel that you feel very relaxed to me. You're asking great questions. Your listening skills are excellent, and you seem to be way more like moving forward. You know, it feels like there's a positivity, and you're excited about what's to come for you. You know.
No, absolutely. I want to do this until the day I die. That's
Yeah.
I'm gonna put all my energy, all my time and passion into this. This is really what I want.
Well, I believe, honestly, Keith, you're on a great path. Eventually you'll bring on more people to help you move to the next level, marketing people, branding people, or you can learn it yourself. But when it comes to your personality and your accessibility and the sweetness that you are, that speaks volumes. You don't need a backdrop. Like, there's a lot of people that have like all the bells and whistles, but they don't have what you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when you give your heart, people want to listen.
No, absolutely. Now wrapping up, how can people? I know I mentioned this before, but doing it again. How can people follow you on social media? What are the best ways to get in contact with you?
Well, you can go to thelindentechnique.com. You can call the office, 818-760-8501. Please follow me on Twitter. Tell me that you listen to this. It's at Amy Lyndon. And the same thing with Instagram at Amy Lyndon. And then find the Lyndon Technique, the group page and the like page on Facebook. And check out all my wacky vines. I'm just getting started on that, but...
Well, wrapping up on the interview segment, I just want to say it was a real honor and privilege to have you on the show.
It was awesome being here, and thank you so much. And you've got a great future. Just keep going at it.
I hope so.
People will find you.